everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, July 12th, 2026. Patty is in prison. It is over. It is finally over. Or is it? That is the question that remains. Jack and Diane are both saved, and then in the very next breath, Kyle looks to me like he might be going to the prison to visit Patty and try to convince her to work with him on a plan to get back at Victor? I mean, I don't know. But that was my interpretation of it. Have we not learned our lessons by now, people? I mean, really. She is a woman, not a weapon. And she is a scary one at that. Where we last left off, Jack was lying, butchered on the floor. Someone called 911 to the Abbott Manch, but it wasn't Kyle or Diane. The paramedics came in and went to work on Jack slowly and quietly and about as politely as if they had been invited for Thanksgiving dinner. Sorry, everyone, we're not going to be having a turkey this year. That might be a trigger for Jack. Then the police come and search all of the rooms upstairs, and Patty is hiding under the bed like a cat who's afraid of the vacuum cleaner. She holds up her arms and she has sliced them, given herself some defensive wounds. And then Detective Burrow shows up on the property like, "Hey, everybody! Here I am at the last possible minute after the crime has already occurred. I have done nothing to help prevent it, just stopping by to arrest the wrong person." Because Patty told the cops that Diane was the one who stabbed Jack. Yes, surely, it was her. Even though Detective Burrow knew that Diane had been missing, he knew that Patty was a proven threat to the family, that she had attacked Jack before, and he also knew that Diane had an alibi in Kyle. But all of that just thrown out the window. I'm arresting everyone. But I'm only going to charge Diane because Dr. Markham, Larry, told the police that, yeah, Diane probably did do it. Great. I love that logic. But I love the drama, too. I love the drama. What can I say? I'm addicted. Michael came in as Diane's attorney, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know. Things look pretty bad for Diane." Do they? Really? Because it looks pretty clear to me. He was able to get Diane out on bail, which is perfect because then Diane was able to rush to the hospital just in time to catch Patty, who was dressed up like a nurse, classic, and sneaking into into Jack's room to finish the job. Apparently, she had a syringe of digitalis. Lord knows where she got her hands on that. Apparently, it's a drug that is used to slow your heart down. That's what Google told me anyway. I'm sure that there was a really strong one-day spike of searches for digitalis. It probably happens once a month. Some guy in a suit is like, weird, searches for this random drug have gone up this week. And then somebody else in a different suit says, oh, that's the soap opera phenomenon. Don't worry about it. It's always something. But Patty was millimeters away from injecting that stuff right into Jack's tube. But then Jack's thirsty security guard walked in and decided to start questioning Patty right at the most convenient moment. Wait, what's your job again? Just stand outside the door. That's your job. What don't you understand about that? You don't get water breaks. And you don't get to just wander into the room to ask the nurse questions. Just stand there, man. Oh, I can't complain. I can't be too mad at him. He saved Jack's life. He pretty much flushed Patty out of the room. But as Patty was leaving, Diane and Kyle were arriving. And Diane must have seen her bottle blonde dye job and like zeroed in on her and decided to chase her down the stairwell, down the long hall, past people with scrubs on, past people carrying clipboards. It was riveting. I have never seen such riveting TV. Diane caught her, and then she started choking her. And I thought Diane totally had the jump on her. I thought, like, she was choking her. She had her in a choke hold. But what Diane didn't know was that Patty had the syringe. And Patty jammed it right into Diane's neck. Not her arm, not her chest, not somewhere with a wide available surface area. No, neck. Which is how you do it when you're a soap villain. You go for the most tender looking spot. Like, that has an especially big factor. The neck. Oh. Thank goodness Captain Kyle was there to save the day. He scooped Diane up like a sexy superhero son and carried her all the way back down the long hall, all the way back up the stairs, all those stairs, all those flights of stairs. And then he delivered her to a nurse with the syringe too, so that it could be tested. I mean, if there was an award for best man of the week, Kyle gets it. Nobody messes with my mommy and gets away with it. But with all of this action, the one fact that I really don't want to go overlooked is the fact that Jack woke up for Tracy. It was Tracy begging him to just open his eyes, so that he could fix all of this. And then he did. Kyle might be a secret superhero, but Tracy is an angel. I'm so in love with Beth Maitland. She's just so good at what she does. She never, ever comes off as fake. It always comes off as sincere. I mean, I cried twice for Tracy this week. I cried when she first got there, and she was talking about how she and Jack were kids, and she was always the one who got up early, but Jack liked to sleep in, and she was always trying to wake him up because she just wanted to be with her big brother. And then I cried again when she was pleading with him to wake up, and he did. It was so emotional. And Tracy had the really difficult job of having to explain everything to Jack, how to tell him what had just happened. I feel like that was a really difficult fence to be on. And I felt for Jack in those moments too, because as soon as he came out of it, he was clearly so weak and so confused. And the second he came to consciousness, he was still worried about Diane. He was still on the mission to save her from Dr. Markham. But Tracy was there, and she just handled it all with such grace. And then Diane actually recovered rather quickly. She was stabbed. She got the neck stabby in one episode, and then by 45 minutes into the next episode, she was in Jack's hospital room, reuniting with him. I mean, she made a very fast recovery. I feel like that's a testament to how powerful their love is, apparently. It was really touching. It felt so earned. I'm really glad Diane and Jack are back together. I'm really glad that they seem like they're on a path to putting the past behind them and just starting fresh. And I hope that that's what's in store for them, because I'm definitely ready to put this part of the nightmare behind us. I saw a preview that said the Abbotts are going to be remembering John Abbott next week. Yes, because a Abbott family tragedy is not complete without weighing in on how John Abbott would have dealt with it, right? So why did Y&R kill him off in the first place? Jerry Douglas was available to work, and they ended up bringing him back many times as a ghost, and then later as a lookalike. So what motivated Y&R to kill his character? Well, Allie's retro recap for the week has some opinions on that. I couldn't help myself. If you're interested, you can search that out on YouTube or just go to yrchat.com. It's like a baffling mystery to me, the unnecessary death of John Abbott. I'm looking forward to it, though. Those are always scenes that pull my heartstrings, because the Abbotts just have this bond. They just feel like a real family with very different personalities that have conflicts very often, and yet they are bonded together in several very central ways. I was happy to see Ashley back this week. I thought she looked incredible. Hair looks a little darker, longer. She looks beautiful. She was looking like Michael Jackson in her like chain, black shoulder patty chain jacket. I loved it. And I'm really curious to know what Ashley is going to say about the situation with Patty, and more importantly, is there any chance that Ashley is going to give us some information about this doctor, or are we done with him? Are we ever gonna learn if there's more to his story? I still keep thinking that he has got to be connected to Martin Laurent somehow. It just seems almost too convenient to me that Patty just had to pay this guy off, even if it was with Victor's money. It just feels like, well, looking at his house, he was already wealthy. So there would have to be something more in it for him. And lest we forget that the story that brought Alan Laurent to town was through one of Ashley's breakdowns. And now there were many Ashley breakdowns. Ashley has been breaking down since the 80s when she found out that John Abbott wasn't really her biological father. It was devastating. And then several times throughout the 2000s, she broke down too, including the time that she was walking around town carrying a baby blanket, calling it her son after her miscarriage. And the time that Adam dressed up like Sabrina, haunted Ashley into a miscarriage, then stole Sharon's baby and gave it to Ashley. And then, most recently, we had the whole Three Faces of Ashley thing, where Eileen Davidson played 4 different roles, all of them very different. And that whole thing is what brought the Laurent twins to our screen. So I feel like there has to be a connection there somehow, some way. And since I couldn't make up my mind this week, I decided to do 2 retro recaps. The John Abbott death story, and then Ashley's breakdowns, all the Ashley Abbott breakdowns. It's truly a bizarre trip down memory lane, especially the Adam one. Oh, that was a mess. But I can only post like 1 video a day. So, the John Abbott video is available now, and I'll make sure to get the Ashley video up by Monday. Again, search it out on YouTube, Allie's Retro Recaps, or you can find it at yrchat.com. I mean, the thing is, Patty has done some crazy stuff, but it's really easy to forget that Ashley is always on that razor's edge of sanity, too. Okay, Jill, let's talk about this. So we have seen the full Lauren Koslow run on Y&R. We have seen everything there is to see. I think that's it. She's gone. So I have to ask the question, what was the point of it all? Did we really need a recast for 5 more episodes of Jill arguing with Billy? I really don't think so. I loved Lauren Koslow. I thought she was great, but the content of the conversation was so samey. It is literally all the same old things that have already been said, always been said. There was no new information, no new twist. And in the end, she asked Billy to come to London with her to work out their problems before she dies, which is ridiculous, because what do you need London for? But he agreed, and then the next thing we know, in the previews, Kyle is talking to Billy, wanting to pursue some kind of all-new revenge plan against Victor. So does that mean that Billy is not going to London now? It's a mess. And here's what I think. Hot take. I think this whole recast situation was about Y&R correcting for the fact that they spent months letting Jill die off screen of a heart condition with limited information, and it really ticked off the fans. Jill is a legacy character. They were doing her wrong by giving her this off-screen drama death, off-screen no drama death, and yet their star, Jess Walton, isn't really working anymore. Let's be honest. She's not into it. If she still wanted to be on Y&R, she would be. It's just not her priority anymore, and that is okay. More power to you, Jess. You have served your time, and I am grateful to you. So grateful. I love you. But now Y&R has their hands tied with this character where the actress who's played her for decades isn't available. Well, we can't just recast her. Or can we? Why don't we test those waters? That's what I think. That's how I think it went down. Do I have any proof? No. That's just my reading of the situation. But I would love to know, if it was some kind of test, what were the results of the test? What did the fans say? You know, was this maybe even meant to put a little pressure on Jess? You know? Especially given the fact that these scenes sure as heck weren't essential. It didn't move forward the plot, and it didn't offer a single new thing. It didn't really even address the heart condition. Jill was, it's like, fine. Yeah, I'm fine. And Billy was like, oh, you look great. Okay. I guess that just went away. I guess you get the heart condition and, like, you take some time and then you're like 100% again. You just have this awareness of your mortality now. Well, all right, I guess everything's fine and great. So, what now? I'll tell you what now. Billy is going to be in full-on defensive mode from here on out. I don't think that his talk with his mother is going to change anything. I think Billy is going to go work with Kane, and now Holden, and soon Matt at Chancellor Industries. I think Billy is going to be trying to secretly undermine Kane at every chance he gets. And Sally is going to be left defending Spectra Charles Media against Victor's latest attack. Honestly, that is the one thing that was firmly established from Jill's visit. Billy ain't interested in Spectra Charles Media. He's out. So this is going to be Sally and Audra's battle. It's going to be Sally and Audra versus Adam and Chelsea at Victor's behest, with presumably a side dish of Claire and Holden, who are also going to be on opposite sides, because Victoria wants Chancellor Industries back for her mother, and she is probably going to be battling Lily and Kane and putting Claire and Holden into the middle. That's what I think. Ooh, but Claire did look amazing in that retro print dress this week. That was the standout star for me. Orange, brown, yellow, and blue stripes. Ooh, she looked like she just stepped out of the Mary Tyler Moore show. There's no such thing as too much love. Don't you think? There is no such thing as too much love. Who said that this week? Which hippie on the show put a little flower behind their ear and said there's no such thing as too much love? Well, if you think you know or you want to guess, you can go to yrchat.com. Diana says, where was Claire going with that ugly top she was wearing when she and Victoria went to the hospital to bring Nikki home? It looked like Ernie's shirt from Sesame Street. Oh, to the MG, Diana. That's funny because we're both looking at the same thing and you're going, Ernie from Sesame Street, and I'm going, oh, that's so awesome. The connection probably is 70s aesthetic. Ernie's shirt, right? Would you say was Sesame Street kind of 70s? Of course, then again, Mary Tyler Moore show was 60s, so maybe it's 60s aesthetic. Yeah, that sounds about right? Like, it's very primary. It was yellow and brown. And you're not allowed to do yellow and brown anymore. Yellow and brown got so done that now you can't do it. It just sticks out. But she also had orange and blue in there. I don't know. I just loved it. But I love brown. I still love yellow and brown. I think it looks good. But I love mid-century style. Anything from the 60s and 70s I really love. So I would wear Ernie's sweater. Oh, Victoria says, the beginning of Nikki and Victor's reunion is happening. Victor has been getting things ready for Nikki just in case. His softening has been gradual, but now let Victor become a gooey mess. Victor needs Nikki as a sounding board so he doesn't go off the rails again. The combination of losing his company and Nikki's friendship with Jack caused his latest path of revenge. In the future, it would be nice if they only argued and then figured out a way to work it out. All those years of history shouldn't go to waste. It is so incredibly clear that the Nikki and Victor reunion is well on its way. It's almost happening slower than I would have expected. For the most part, it seems like Victor's kind of stepping back and letting Nikki do her own thing. I think she would resent it if he was hovering over her every second of the day. But it's one of those things. It's written in stone. Nick was questioning Victor about it, and he was like, okay, but we know you still love her. And then Victoria was like, Mom, are you sure you don't want to move back into Dad's bedroom? I was like, ew, Victoria, back up. If Nikki wants to take a first floor guest bedroom, let her. Don't force her upstairs into Victor's dungeon bed. Lord knows what goes on in there. Naomi says, why would Victoria leave and not tell her blind mother? Apparently there's no staff available and Nikki's left to count her way around the house. Good grief. Yeah, really. It killed me because Nikki was just standing there. She had somehow wandered back to the back corner by the piano. She, for no reason, wandered back by the piano and then got trapped there and couldn't find her way back to the couch. And Victoria didn't mention that she had left. The other thing that really bothers me about this and why I think it's moving so slow is, where was Adam's reaction? I'm sorry. Adam lived with a blind mother his entire life and then had a scare where he lost his vision for a while, and then had a scare where his son would have gone blind if not for the cornea transplant. So, I mean, if you want to talk threads that are left loose hanging, Adam is the biggest one. I cannot believe that Y&R is just brushing over the connection between Nikki's blindness and Hope and not using it, at least as an opportunity to have Victor or Adam talk about it with her. I mean, Adam did offer to bring Chelsea and Connor over to deliver some lemon bars to Nikki, but I don't need lemon bars. I need to dig into a conversation that causes Adam and Nikki to bond, and then shortly after, begin their affair that I've been asking for years. I mean, lemon bars are great and all. I don't think I've ever had a lemon bar. I love lemon. It sounds really appealing. Does it have maybe like a graham cracker, like some sort of crust on the bottom, and then like a lemon curd, and then maybe some powdered sugar or something? I gotta look that up because a lemon bar sounds really good. It's a perfectly fine way to get your vitamin C. You know, Russell has the most logical thought here. Russell says, if Nikki would ever just take the bandages off, she might see everything. I mean, yeah, duh. Obviously Nikki's blind. She's got those bandages over her eyes. Somebody just get in there and peel them off, and then this whole thing could be over for her. Every time I see the bandages, too, I think about, like, I've been watching to see, is the adhesive anywhere near her eyebrow? Because that's really going to hurt when they go to peel those off if she's got eyebrow hairs there. It is the worst. I mean, looking at Nikki with the eye bandages on, what is Melody Thomas Scott saying? She has got to be like, ugh, yeah, no. I mean, like, it's, I can only speak from my minimal experience, but it is hard to watch oneself on screen. It is difficult to not, I mean, anybody can relate this, you know, like, I don't know, or maybe it's just me. I don't like seeing video of myself. I don't like seeing photo of myself. It makes me uncomfortable. And I can just imagine if I had to look at video and photo of myself, and especially like all over the internet getting memed and stuff of me with these weird eye bandages on, I mean, she must take it in stride. By this point, she must kind of understand that she's a pop culture icon and this is just going to happen. But I would feel so embarrassed walking around with those eye bandages. Gary says, that little fiasco and tantrum of the table salt was like a page out of my own life. I'm picturing that, Gary. That's funny. You know, that was one of those really subtle little moments that I almost attribute to the actors. I doubt that was in the script. But Adam goes to ask Nick to pass the table salt after Nick has just had salt rubbed in the wound of his addiction. He's got this addiction. He's finally getting things back on track. And then Victor turns around and says, I don't think you're ready. So that felt like a little dig. Maybe it came from Mark Grossman. Maybe it came from Eric Braeden. Maybe it came from Josh Morrow. I don't know. But that was a really subtle, comedic little moment. I'm glad you mentioned it, Gary. Stevens says, studies done by Harvard Health show that prescription opioid addictions take, on average, 5 years for the brain to stabilize while neural pathways recalibrate. The 4-month suggestion reflects Victor's ever-present optimism. Yeah, you know what? That's the thing. I did not think that it was at all unreasonable for Victor to suggest that maybe Nick take it easy. He's 1 month out from a drug overdose. He probably doesn't even have his 30-day chip. Maybe we don't hand him over control of the billion-dollar company just yet. Maybe we wait a little while longer. I thought it seemed a little presumptuous of Nick, thinking that he was just going to jump right back into his co-spot. I mean, there's consequences. Unfortunately, there's consequences, and I think Nick is living inside of them, no doubt. But I think he needs to earn back that stability and earn back that trust before just getting handed his old position back. Maybe you guys disagree with me. I don't know. Ooh, T. Nicole says, I love the character of Audra. She brings great tension to the opposing characters, Claire and now Sienna. And I do love her friendship with Sally. But, Audra, you are definitely not a good girl by basically saying out loud that you want to take someone else's boyfriend from them. Yeah, and Diana says, I don't understand why Sienna does not tell Noah that Audra is not welcome at the bar, knowing that Audra's blatantly going after her man. Are they that desperate for business? Audra has made it clear that she wants Noah after she told Sienna that for now Noah is her boyfriend. All Sienna has to do is have this discussion with Noah and the bouncer can deny Audra entry. You know, that is so logical and so true. And I have to tell you guys, I am not feeling this. It is almost it's just too obvious. And it makes Noah look like a pawn, you know? I mean, Sienna and Noah are together. Sienna's kissing up on Noah while Audra is watching, clearly done to make her jealous. And then Audra takes Noah off to the side and holds his hand where Sienna can see it. And obviously now Sienna is jealous. And then Noah's stuck in the middle. It makes him look like he's just this object. You know, it makes him look like he doesn't have any opinion or any kind of weight in his own life. He's just like the dude that the two girls are fighting over, which is soap opera, admittedly. I mean, that's been going on and it happened to Nick many, many times. But I just kind of want a little more from Noah. And it doesn't help that I'm really sick of seeing him in this John Travolta 70s Saturday Night Fever outfit. I am not loving the restyling of Noah. And I want him to be more assertive. If he's with Sienna, then he needs to be with Sienna. And Sienna, they need to communicate and lock down the Audra stuff right now. It's almost like, well, what are you going to do, Audra? You're just going to keep sexing around the club, and one day he's going to fall for you? I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't. Audra and Noah would make a perfectly fine couple. It's just, where's this going? It's not riveting to me to just watch the two chicks trying to make the other one jealous, smooching up or holding hands on the guy. Meh. That's my review. Meh. Oh, let's switch topics. Another storyline that a lot of people are metting, but Kamna loves. Kamna says, I loved the old school, twisty, over-the-top, soapy nature of the Patty, Jack, Diane storyline combined with the modern pacing. I can't wait to see what Kyle has in store. And by the way, Kyle is quite the man, and I hope there's a new woman who comes into his life. As in, maybe a new Summer returning to our screens. Kamna, this is such a great comment. I love that you mentioned the pacing, because there's nothing not old school about all of this. I mean, it almost hit every single one of the most tropey soap opera beats. And yet what was different about it was the pacing. It did move on pretty quickly. We could have been dealing with this, dragging out all the hospital stuff for weeks, and back in the old days we would have, but Y&R really did a pretty good job of pacing this along so that everything happened quickly. I mean, think of it. The end of one episode, Diane's getting the needle. By the end of the next, she's reunited with Jack. It moved along, and I did appreciate that. I also love the Kyle love. I mean, it was like, I need a hero kind of moment. I mean, he was like picking her up and picking Diane up and carrying her. I mean, he looked so strong and manly. Like, there should have been flames behind him. The only thing would have made that better is if there was an explosion behind him, too. Kyle is hot. I am loving how his hair is getting that little bit of gray at the temples. And yeah, he needs a lady. I still do like Kyle and Claire and would not mind seeing them find each other again, but that seems completely off the table. But speaking of new ladies, there was somebody did get cast. I didn't write it down because, like, until they become an actual character and I see them on screen, you know, it doesn't mean anything to me. And there's no, I mean, what are you going to do? She could be anybody. But they did cast someone young and attractive, so for all we know, Kyle could have a new love interest. But it's also funny that you would mention Summer, because literally when I saw the casting note that we were getting some new young chick, I thought, why not Summer? Well, I mean, this is fine and everything, but why not just recast Summer? She has such a good place on the show right now. She's a missing piece. I don't know why Y&R just ignores that. I don't need it to be the same actress. Recast her. Russell says Jack and Diane's reunion was so freaking sweet. Yes, I was tearing up. Yes, Russell, me too. I was tearing up too, especially when they agreed that where it hurts most is the heart. It sounds so cheesy if anybody else were to say it, but there was something so touching about that moment. And then, like, she put her hand on his heart. Oh, that was really cute. Connie says Tracy looked beautiful, and I was glad that she was the one to calmly greet her brother as he regained consciousness after such a trauma for us all. Her facial expressions and teary eyes evoked strong emotions, and it's not an easy task to do when your fellow actor is motionless. I thought she carried that scene so well, and I wondered how many takes it took to make me cry with her. I mean, you know what, Connie? I bet that's all one take. I think they're just I don't think they get multiple takes. I think it's like, go, and she just nailed it. That's how good she is, and you're right. It would be really hard to do that when there's another actor who's not responding, who just has to lay there. And likewise, it would be really hard to be Peter Bergman in that scene, too, where you just have to lay there and listen. You know, I mean, almost like that it would be a weird meta moment, like thinking about people like on your own deathbed is what I would be thinking. But yeah, I mean, it was an incredible scene. It was certainly, I mean, maybe one of the most standout scenes of the week. And in a week of emotional stuff, Tracy really carried it. I'm so happy that Y&R continues to bring her back, even if it is just for little bits here and there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with Tracy and Ashley and Lauren next week. Apparently Lauren's going to become an honorary Abbott, which is a heck of a long way from where she started. Brent says, I hate to say it, but Patty made the classic mistake that Joker and Riddler and Penguin and Mr. Freeze made on the old Batman show from the 60s. They don't merely kill Batman and Robin right away. They insist on talking and talking before submerging them slowly into a human-sized vat of milkshake or something like that. Yes, Patty had, instead of just killing Jack right then and there, she had to reveal the whole plan and have her whole long speech, and it really revealed how totally sick and twisted she was. Because I was like going back and listening to everything she said, and she made it sound like killing him was an intimate act. Like that was her act of love, almost as intimate as the sex that they had on the yacht. Like she viewed that as intimacy, and that is a whole nother level of sick that I guess I hadn't fully comprehended before. T. Nicole says, okay, I know soaps are not going to be 100% rational, and they're going to have their loopholes, but this story with framing Diane seems too far-fetched. I'm confused. A family member automatically can't be your alibi, even if what they're saying is true? Also, the fact that Kyle was never brought in for questioning, but Dr. Markham was, makes no sense. I feel Chance would have taken more time to interview and investigate. I'll say one thing, Detective Burrow, right, doesn't look like the smartest detective, but I do sure hope he stays for some lucky Genoa City lady to snag a hot detective. Yeah, Tina Cole, it was, that part was so far-fetched. It didn't bother me. I wasn't as bothered as a lot of people were. I just kind of go with it. But I think, again, the difference is they moved it along pretty quickly. Had we gone to trial or something nuts with Diane, which again is what they would have done in the past. Like, it's all of the same classic soap stuff we have seen for decades now, but it moved along in a much faster pace, so that if it's driving anyone crazy, at least it's getting on. it's coming and going quite quickly. Steven says, Kyle understands the game here. Patty is unstable, but she is no fool when it comes to leverage. She knows she will get absolutely nothing from Christine by grassing on Lily and the rest of the lower echelon. If she wants a real bargain back to the Fairview Funny Farm instead of a lifetime sentence, she has to aim straight for the top of the food chain. If Victor thought he could manipulate the yacht adventure and the rest of Patty's chaos from the comfort of the ranch, Kyle's about to show him exactly what happens when you leave a cannon like Patty Williams loose in the weeds. Ooh, Steven, that's maybe a better and smarter thing for Kyle to do. Maybe he's just going to maybe Kyle's going to try to convince Patty to turn on Victor, and then the Abbotts will help her get a lesser sentence or something. That would be very smart. I am very curious to know how deeply this is going to lead back to Victor. Yeah, he definitely paid Patty to seduce Jack on the yacht, but did he have anything to do with getting her out of the mental institution in the first place? I feel like this Dr. Markham piece is just left wide open. I need to know who this guy is. I looked to see if Jer Burns is done, and so far it doesn't seem like he is. So far it seems like he's still going on the show. He hasn't announced his last air date, so I'm guessing there's got to be more to it. Ooh, Russell says, I like the idea of Chancellor Way. If it pans out, it sounds like there could be a new luxury condo set for someone to live in, and maybe a new office sets. Much better than a media company that only posts online stories we have to hear about. Yeah, you know what? I wonder if we'll ever see it. Y&R has done, again, we kind of complain about a lot of stuff Y&R does, but within the last several years, they've really given us good sets. They've really kept those sets fresh. They've heard that the Y&R fans pay attention to those things, and they've definitely put the limited resources that they have into building new sets and keeping the show looking visually fresh. Chancellor Way, I mean, I wonder if we'll see it. Part of me thinks, you know what? Yeah, maybe we will. But history has shown that they're willing to go there, that they're willing to invest. And at the same time, Holden was also mentioning needing a place to live. Stephanie was searching for a place to live. I doubt they're going to be able to just pop up a whole new apartment complex that quickly, but maybe it is a sign of things to come. Maybe they're going to put the project on a quick track, and we'll get some new apartments. I mean, they must have so much material from previous apartments. There's so many. I imagine they could just recycle us up some old apartments, and that'd be fine. Okay. Naomi says, Billy calls his mom out for never ever forgetting his mistakes. Jill is indeed keeping score, and she is lucky her many, many, many mistakes have apparently been buried along with Kay Chancellor. Ooh, burn, Naomi, burn. That is so good. Yeah, she definitely made sure to mention Billy's gambling addiction, which was, I mean, to be fair, at this point it was quite a while ago. And yeah, I mean, he didn't mention anything about her many indiscretions. Apparently they've been buried along with Kay Chancellor. Oh, that's such a good line. Okay, so last week I asked you guys if you were open to a permanent Jill recast, and 69% of you said yes. It's so funny because I feel like the majority of the comments were like no, but the vote went to yes, open to a recast. Marianne V said no way, but have to admit that the actress who filled in was as good as Jill. It may be inevitable at some point, but if Jess Walton is up to doing it, I prefer her as Jill. Yeah, definitely Marianne B. I mean, I think I would prefer Jess Walton, but definitely open to a recast. And I love this from Tony, who says, we watch Y&R for the characters and the stories, and we want the show to continue. Actors sometimes want to continue until they walk upstairs and say goodnight, like Catherine. But Y&R won't recast her because her passing adds more to the storyline than not. Characters are recast for inside reasons, like Michael Mooney. Adam lives on. Jack was recast years ago. We didn't let him die. Jess Walton is a recast and has become the Jill. I vote to keep the character rather than be adamant that there's only one actor to play a role. So, too, Paul. Doug Davidson was great, and he was our Paul. But if the actor is unable to return for any reason, let's recast him. Consider the storylines he could have been a part of in the last few years. When Chance was killed, when Heather was killed, Christine's divorce, when Ian was terrorizing Genoa City. You know what? I mean, Tony, that is one of the most popular comments that I see over and over and again about Y&R is, where is Paul? I mean, think of what he would have added to Christine and Danny's wedding. I mean, he could have shown up and caused a little problem there. Yeah, Paul's a character who it would be a really good candidate for a recast. And I'm with you. If I love the actors, I really do, but I feel more attached to the characters. And yeah, it takes a while to get used to someone new, but we adjust eventually. I mean, I don't think there is anyone on the show that I would not be open to a recast of. It would be incredibly hard to recast Victor Newman. It would be incredibly hard to recast Nikki Newman. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't feel outraged. I'm certain that it would be a mixed bag, but I'm certain I would not be saying, no, we must never, no, not recast Victor Newman. Eric Brain's the only one, and he's the only one who's ever played him. But yeah, I mean, and that's my most extreme example. That's the actor who is most closely tied to the character for me in my mind. But yeah, I mean, even at that level, I think I could handle it. We'll see if I ever got there. We'll see flash forward if they ever did that, and I'm like, no, this is sacrilege. Here's a final funny little thing from Victoria, who says, John Oliver, comedian and star of John Oliver Last Week Tonight on HBO, sent out a plea to appear on a soap opera. So far, he's appeared on Days of Our Lives and General Hospital. And on General Hospital, he's playing Z, the head of an international spy agency. He's rolled into Port Charles after a deadly gunfire fight. And John Oliver has been amazing. He's great at drama and no slouch at comedy. I hope the writers at Y&R can find him a short arc to appear, possibly a love interest of Sharon. Any ideas, chatters? Okay, Victoria, that is so funny that you're mentioning this, because something like that popped up on my feed recently. I saw him doing the plea to appear on a soap, and what appealed to me was that I don't really know him. I don't watch his show. His name sounded familiar. His face looked a little familiar. But what he was saying in the original plea was basically, I love soaps. Soaps are fun. They are ridiculous. There is nowhere else on any other show that you can see X, Y, and Z. Here are some examples. And he showed Marlena transforming into the devil as one of his examples. And that just sold me right then and there. I'm like, anybody who can take a look at those retro, ridiculous 90s storylines and go, that's awesome. I'm like, I'm sold. I love you. You are my people. We are same. And then I saw him in that I think it was General Hospital, where he was coming in after a gunfight and cleaning up. And I thought, oh, wow, they actually did cast him. But you're saying he was also, he appeared on Days of Our Lives. Oh, and okay, so I showed that clip to my husband, and he said, oh yeah, well, actually he included Y&R. Have you not seen the salmon cannon? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so he went and found me this clip of John Oliver on his show. He did some bit about a salmon cannon, and he was putting fish into a cannon and launching these fish onto various shows. And one of them ended up being The Young and the Restless. And you'll have to go search out this clip, but it's Nick and Sharon. It has to be 10 years old. And Nick and Sharon are in Sharon's living room, and they're having this very intense argument. It had to have been around the time that Sharon was maybe lying about Sully/Christian's paternity, because it seemed like they were arguing about a baby and a secret that she kept from him. Of course, it could have been Summer's paternity. I don't know what story it was, but it was old. And then they're having this very serious discussion, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a fish comes in and hits Sharon in the head. And it was freaking hilarious, because the scene went on a really long time before the fish came in. I was dying. Absolutely dying. So yes to having a little fun. I mean, because the other thing is, it raises awareness for soaps. I am constantly asking myself, why aren't more people watching soap operas? That is, it is astonishing to me how soap operas were so popular back in the day, and now it's just almost non-existent. Kids today don't care. Many of the fans have dropped away. I mean, they were getting probably 10 million views an episode in the 80s and 90s, and now I'm sure they're lucky if they get 1 million. It's just reduced so much. And then at the same time, I wonder to myself, why is it that comic books are so popular and superhero movies are so popular? Why not soaps? I mean, if you can get on board with people flying around in their superhero costumes, then why can't you get on board with a little ridiculous, soapy, down home, middle of the day, ridiculous drama? Okay, everybody. I am a soap fan for life. I mean, even if Y&R went away, I'd have to just find another soap to watch. It would be a consolation prize for sure. Y&R is just always the one that stuck out to me. I watched Days, I watched General a little bit, I watched Bold and the Beautiful probably the most of any other one, but Y&R was just always for me. I always saw the other ones on the other channels, and there was something about them that just didn't feel as full, didn't feel as polished. I loved the music of Y&R, I loved the visual styling of Y&R. It was just for me. I saw it and I was like, this is my one. I'm going to watch this show forever. Actually, no, I had no thought of I am never going to stop watching this show. It's just like a habit. It's just a daily habit that I just never stopped doing. And I love it. It's in my bones at this point. I love watching Y&R. I love doing these retro recaps and going back and revisiting some of the stories that have been most impactful, not just to me, but to a whole community of fans, some who have long since stopped watching the show and are just like, oh, I want to remember that old story. I remember that. We're just connected strangely by this. Oh, I remember when that happened on The Young and the Restless. So those have become really a meaningful part of my week. And of course, the stories that I'm writing with the Fauna and the Flora. I had somebody email me this week, and I won't blow up your spot by saying your name, but she said she was not feeling the Patty drama, and so she stopped watching Y&R and started listening to the Fauna and the Flora audiobook instead. And that filled her Y&R time for the week, which I think is funny. If you're not feeling the show, definitely take that break. There's no reason to watch something that you're not enjoying, and I'm honored that you would choose the Fauna and the Flora to fill that extra space, because it is very classic soap. It, as a matter of fact, has two characters in it who I love very much, John Abbott and William Abbott, and they are a mother and son, and they have a very interesting and fun dynamic between them. Jillian is a squirrel, and she is over-the-top hairspray and highlights, and William is her kinda lazy, funny, gambling son. And they have a really fun mother-son dynamic. It's like he needs her, she needs him, they argue, and they're crazy with each other, and yet they love each other at the same time, and somehow that feels very relevant to this week. So I hope you enjoyed that especially. And yeah, I mean, there's just like a whole world of stuff too. I'll occasionally lately scroll around and just see on Reddit or wherever comment sections, and just kind of try to get a little view of what people are saying about the show. And I still contend yrchat.com is far and above better than any other place you're going to see comments on the internet, because I always go to look and I always come away thinking, wow, people hate this show. How is it still on the air? All the comments are so negative, and then I see the really beautiful and thoughtful comments that you guys leave at yrchat.com, and that's just honestly such an honor that you're having these thoughts about the show, and that's where you choose to leave them, because you know that they'll be received and read and appreciated, and I really do appreciate it. So as you're watching the show this week and having thoughts about it, go to yrchat.com. It gives you a little connection to Y&R Chat between Sundays, and it gives you a place to put your thoughts if you've just got something that cannot wait. Which is usually how it is. I think that's probably why I do Y&R Chat, because I'm like, I have these observations about Y&R and I need to communicate them. Oh, it is my pleasure for nearly 20 years now to do that. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.